There are two basic concepts that we try to put on the table in CAPS. And one is a technology, which we call do-it-yourself networking. And the idea is when communication is local, like in a neighborhood or in a public space, to use collective awareness platforms that are really, they run on a local network. So we have this motto of thinking outside the internet and local networks for local interaction. This is a specific technology, it's very popular for many years, but mostly between hackers and activists. Like community wireless networks, for example, but it has not arrived to the mainstream. And we believe very much that many of the issues raised by CAPS, like privacy and awareness, can be addressed better with such technologies. And a second idea that we try to develop is the idea of boundary objects in interdisciplinarity, do-it-yourself networking being one of them. And context specificity. So the workshop that we organized here, we call it Unsmarting the City in this version. The idea was to go out in the streets with the participants of the workshop to get a sense of how people can observe the city in order to build designs that are context specific. So we focus a lot on the senses, as we say, instead of the sensors, on understanding the city and building customized solution. And the final vision is to have this idea of scaling through replication. So the idea is to have very easily customized local networks that local actors can just take, like you take a WordPress template and install it in a local location to create location-based collective awareness situations. And to do this, we see it as an interdisciplinary and very complex design problem, and this is why we want to bring together designers, sociologists, urbanists, engineers, etc. When we talk to people about do-it-yourself networking and all these ideas, the first question is why? Why do we need this? I mean, we just built the internet to work perfectly now. Why to shift in such a technology that it's not so easy to use, it can fail, it cannot necessarily cover the whole area, you know, it's not so easy and so obvious. So the basic problem we have is for people getting interested in such a technology because they think that the internet is good enough and they don't need something more sophisticated than this. It's a similar problem that privacy advocates or security encryption advocates have with people not really caring to encrypt their data. So people seem that they are a little bit reluctant to get into the trouble of using such technology. And we keep trying to convince them. So this is our idea, to create interdisciplinary groups and put the idea of do-it-yourself networking in the center. And people brainstorm around why and how we can use this technology. And we found out that this is a nice triangulator to connect people from different backgrounds because it's interesting. You know, it's like a new toy that we can play with. So this is our basic, our most important problem. And also it's good to have problems because we have work to do. The biggest challenge is people to getting interested, I think. And the biggest opportunity is that it's very easy to scale this type of technology. In the past, in the internet, you have to connect people all over the world and you needed a critical mass of people, for example, creating an account in Facebook. But if you have a very nice gadget like a Raspberry Pi in a nice box with a very nice interface, as I said, like WordPress, to install a local application, if it works well, and people that are to use this, they don't have to know it beforehand. You don't have to install any application. You can just engage with it. And if it's very easy to do it, it can replicate very fast. You don't need a single entity like Facebook to attract all the users. Every single person can buy such a gadget, install it, and here it is, a local application. So the opportunity for me is that it can lower very much the cost of innovation. But to do this, there is some sort of convincing process of convincing people to work on this type of technology, and this is what we try to do.